والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين ومن تبعهم بإحسان ودعا بدعوتهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Okay, so my laptop just died, but inshallah things will be okay. Brother, just come closer inshallah. So again, reminder that we're here to take benefit inshallah. We use these sessions and really concentrate and we reflect. So these sessions are not just for passive listening, because when we come and we listen passively, we won't benefit from these sessions. So in these sessions, we need to reflect and ponder, do I have this quality? How much of this quality do I have? How do I rectify myself? So it's something that has to be listened to very actively with a lot of reflection. So this is why when we come here, we need to be very sincere in our motives. So I'm here because I understand that there's deficiencies, there's flaws within me, and I'm here to rectify myself. And a person who's dying of cancer, and the cure to the cancer is told in front of them, what will be our attitude when we listen to the cure that's given to us? We'll be sitting back, reclining, scrolling through Facebook on one side, and then listening on the other side. Or how much attention will we be giving? Because I know inside, I have a disease worse than cancer. Because cancer will finish us in this world. But the illnesses of the heart will destroy us in this world and the hereafter. So the illness of the heart is the greatest illness. And if I'm dying of this illness and I'm worried about this illness, then how much more attention will I be giving this? What will my body language be towards receiving this knowledge? How will I receive it? How will I listen? How will I pay attention? So today's topic is on Bukhl. The topic is Bukhl. What's the meaning of Bukhl, everyone? Stinginess. Being stingy. We'll come to the definitions, inshallah, soon. So, part of Bukhl is, and let's use this to reflect. For example, how many of us have ever delayed giving a zakat? And months go by, or years go by. And then at the end of the year, we realize, I think to myself, why don't I have any money saved? Where's all my money going? I'm earning money, but money just keeps going and going and going. There's no barakah. Or, we work and we work and we work. But when we're just thinking, scratching our heads, why don't I have any savings? Why don't I have any money left? So one of these could be to do with stinginess, bukhl. So shuh, there's two terms that we're going to accustom ourselves with today. One is shuh, an Arabic term, and bukhl, two Arabic terms. Two major illnesses of the heart, shuh and bukhl. Two blameworthy traits within a person. And when a person have these two main qualities, it drives us to constantly follow our nafs, follow our desires, follow shaitan. And it is the awliya of Allah, the friends of Allah, and His servants that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses. Allah purifies their hearts from this quality. So this is something which is blameworthy. And when Allah talks about bukhl in the Quran, Allah groups it together. وَأَمَّا مَنْ Who knows the verse? بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. As for the one who is stingy. Now what other qualities accompany stinginess? وَاسْتَغْنَى, they think they're self-sufficient, mean they're arrogant. They think they're self-sufficient. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and they deny and they reject. Imagine lumping all of these qualities together, which means it shows the seriousness of bukhl. Those, وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ, as for the one who is stingy, thinks himself to be self-sufficient. I don't need anyone. I don't need to go to anything. I don't need Allah. I don't need His messenger. Or slightly lower level. I don't need to learn. I don't need to study. I know everything. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and then leads to rejection. And we will make difficulty easy for them. We will put the path of difficulty in front of them. So, bukhl, being stingy, is a very important topic in the Quran. Stinginess and generosity and departing from our wealth is not something optional this ummah does. It's not optional. It's a core part of our deen and a core part of our religion. For example, when Allah describes some of the communities at the time, especially the munafiqeen, the description of the munafiqeen, they were a group of people. They had beards, they wore thobes, probably amamas. They looked the parts, but inwardly they didn't have the qualities of Islam. الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ وَيَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبُخْلِ Those who are, how does Allah describe them? Those who are stingy. First quality. Those who are stingy. And not just that, وَيَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبُخْلِ. They command other people to be stingy. What time is Isha today? 15? And they command other people to be stingy. So they're not just stingy with their own wealth. They're stingy with other people's wealth. There's a cause to donate. They're not going to donate, they're stingy. And there's other brothers that want to donate, other sisters, and they say, why do you want to donate for? What's that going to do? Your £5 not going to make a difference. What's the point? So they're stingy not just with their own wealth, they're stingy with other people's wealth. When other people are being generous, it hurts their souls. When other people are being generous. وَيَكْتُمُونَ مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. And they hide the bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. Let's say, وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ هُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُمْ بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌ لَهُمْ. Now it says, those who are being stingy, they should not think stingy with that which Allah has given them. Allah is taking authority over this wealth. This wealth that I have, Allah is not saying it belongs to us. Allah is saying what Allah has given them. So those who are being stingy with what Allah has given them, they should not think that this is good for them. بَلْ هُوَ شَرٌ لَهُمْ. Them withholding their wealth and refusing to depart from it is evil for them. It's not good for them. And then Allah talks about spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on and so on. I'm not going to go through all the verses. We'll come to it. So now what's the definition of bukhl in the Quran? Or definition of shuh? There's two terms that we need to get used to, inshallah. So many scholars have defined bukhl and defined shuh in their own ways, with slightly variations of meaning. For example, Jurjani in his book Ta'rifat, he says, Al-bukhl wal-man'u min mali nafsihi wa shuh wa bukhlu rajul min mali ghayri. So a person being stingy, bukhl is being stingy from your own wealth, and the term shuh refers to being stingy, so stingy that you're even stingy with other people's wealth. Or another definition, al-bukhl tarkul ithar inda al-haja. When a person leaves out ithar in the Arabic language, anyone know what the word ithar means? Can anyone define it for me? The word ithar. Influence. Sorry? Influence. Okay. Oh yes, yes, what's one of the definitions, yes? Preference. Yes, preference here. So here is when you prefer others over to yourself. So when a need arises where you need to, yes, I need to hold on to my money because I've got things to do with it. But the community has a need, or they have a need, or he has a need, or she has a need, this family has a need. And you prefer themselves over to your own situation. And so when we able to help and we don't prefer them over to us, some scholars have regarded this as bukhl. When we're able to help and give them preference to our own selves, and we don't. And the Sahaba, they were described. How did Allah describe the Sahaba with this quality of ithar? What's the verse? وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. That they give preference to others over themselves, even if it means poverty for themselves. And we have the famous incident of being generous, of the guests, they came to the house of the Sahabi. The Prophet ﷺ made an announcement, who's there can look after the Sahabi? And one of the companions said, I'll look after him. And he went to his house with the guest, and he asked his wife, what food do we have? What do we have in the house? And the wife said, we've only got milk for the children. And that's all we have. And he says to his wife, okay, takes a bowl of water, put it under the stove, so that the children think milk is getting ready for them. And whilst it's getting ready, put them to sleep. So they go to sleep. And give me the milk and I will go feed my guest. And there's only one bowl of milk, enough for the guest, not even for himself. So beforehand he put out the lights so that the guest thinks he also has a bowl of milk, although his bowl was empty. And he gave the bowl of milk to his guest to drink to his full. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. That they prefer others over to themselves, even if it means poverty for themselves. SubhanAllah, this is a point of reflection for us. How much has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us? And when we give, we don't even need to go into poverty. It's just about parting with a small percentage of my wealth and maybe sacrificing a burger, sacrificing a coffee, sacrificing a takeaway meal. Imagine that smallest level of sacrifice compared to the large level of sacrifice. Where do we fall in comparison to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum? Imam al-Qurtubi, he says, al-Bukhl al-madhmum fi shar' huwa. Okay, you know what? Let's pause here and we'll continue after Isha, inshallah.